How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Wednesday, May the 21st, 2025. Is your man Big D, and I'm back with another one. Want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to show support to my son and I. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, family, I'm back with another video. And as always, as it never fails, every time I come on these YouTube streets, I'm always finding myself running across some more BS that our people are committing. I am constantly coming across young men and women that are continuously inflicting self-inflicting wounds. Well, family, today we got my homeboy, Rod Wave. That's right. Rod Wave up in Fulton County, Georgia, just went on a rampage, busting off 14 shots. To what? You might say, what was the reason? We will never know. Probably just crashed out for no reason. So we have this talented young black man that made it out the hood of St. Petersburg, right? And he has done something that most of us will not do. He took advantage of his talent. And based on those God-given talents, he made something of himself. He has perhaps put himself along with his family on a trajectory and course of generational wealth. But I have to add this. You can take the lion out of the jungle, but you will never take the jungle out of the lion. You can take Lil Dank out of the hood, but you will never take the hood out of Lil Dank. And that's what we got going on with my young brother here. My good young man, you have made it to this point in life. You are in a good financial place, I hope. I hope you're not squandering and wasting your money on all types of jewelry and cars and houses, because at the end of the day, you can only drive one car at a time. At the end of the day, you can only live in one house at a time. And to it all, you can only wear so many chains at a time. So at some point, we as a people have to understand that we don't have to keep up with the Joneses. Just cause you got it don't mean that you should be crazy with your money. Be frugal. It'll pay off in the end. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is, why would this young man get so emotional, pull out a Glock 20, a 10 millimeter semi-automatic pistol, and basically just start spraying and busting, shooting up cars, houses. And he did all this while he was out on bond. Man, how do you break the law? The courts graciously give you a bond because they don't, some say they don't have to. I say under the color of law, if you meet all the requirements and qualifications to secure a bond, for all practical purposes, they have to give you a bond. But how can you be out on bond and now you committing felonious acts like this? Now man, this man done caught a plethora of additional charges on top of the charge that he was out on bond for. Now, you know what's going to happen? Now, this young man going to end up back in front of a judge, perhaps the same judge that saw his first case and gave him a bond, allowed him to get a bond, and he's out back in the community. But he's back in the community just being uncivilized. And the judge is going to say, perhaps maybe the first time this young man maybe had a bad day. He's not like some little little pookie that's on the corner slinging dope. He's tried, he has, done something for himself through his God-given talents. So in my mind, perhaps the judge was trying to show him grace and mercy. But this young man cannot get out of his way. Rod Wave cannot get out of his way. Brother, you work so hard to get out of your hood. And now that you have made it to the mountaintop, why are you getting in your own way? Why are you committing self-inflicted wounds? Man, you're going to go back in front of the criminal justice system, and it is going to say, we gave you an opportunity, and you keep showing the world, society, that maybe you don't belong in a free society. Maybe you belong in a structured situation where you can be told what to do, where you will not have access to firearms, where you at some point or another going to learn how to control your emotions. I was in my backyard, and I saw this little baby gopher, right? And he kind of just been hanging around in the yard and what have you, and he'll go eat my little grass, and then he'll disappear off in the woods and whatnot. And I was like, man, this gopher, as long as he don't run across perhaps an alligator or something, he really don't have a natural predator. He really don't have anything that can basically consume him, other than perhaps an alligator or something. But outside of that, that's it. But we have to ask ourselves and say, as black folks, man, seem like black men have natural predators, and it's other black men. Yeah, I said it. We have been shown that perhaps, given the right circumstances, given a certain amount of money, that we all can become uncivilized. We all can be no better than the people that brought our ancestors over to this country on boats and ships. This is a learned behavior, maybe. Or maybe it is just a demonic spirit that lingers in all of us in our community. And just like we have free will, we have the free will to control these urges. We have free will to learn how to control these emotions. It was nothing but emotions that caused this young brother to grab a gun and start shooting and just shooting, not knowing that a bullet don't have nobody's name on it, not knowing that some innocent kid could have gotten struck by one of those stray bullets. Man, what are you doing? You destroying property. You in possession of a handgun while committing a felony. Man, all those charges are strong, and they gonna stick. And you cannot go in front of the judge and say, Your Honor, I just had a bad day. I just need another chance. Judge gonna say, well, damn, young man, you just had a bad day and I let you out on bond. So, you know what? Say what you want about this whole El Salvador thing, and if you not a American citizen and you came over here illegally, your ass gonna be on the first thing smoking. Say what you want about that, but then when the Don told Pam Bondi, we need to look at what can we do to those people that were born in this country, but they just can't get along in society. And they are the worst of us. And no matter how many times you show them grace, they're going to keep showing their ass, and they're going to keep doing shit like this and putting the greater community at risk. So I don't know, maybe they own to something. I don't know. Maybe if they can find a way to tamper with your 14th right amendment, you know, the 14th Amendment, your 14th Amendment rights. And if they can find a way to tamper with it and say, okay, well, hey, if you commit this type of crime, a violent crime, well, then the fact that you was born in this country, that don't mean nothing, because you can't obey the laws in this country. And the problem is that in most of our jails and prisons in this country, two likes. People don't mind recidivating and going back to jail or prison. They don't mind it, because at least in jail or prison, they're going to get 3 hots and a cot. A lot of them don't even have that. So in this country, you know, people can be victims. People can be sued for bullshit. So it's just too easy in this country. So perhaps if they can play with your 14th Amendment rights and say you commit this type of crime, you cannot be a part of this society, and maybe you need to be on the first thing smoking going to El Salvador. Maybe then people will start getting their ish together. Maybe then people will start taking the criminal justice system more seriously. But the fact this man committed he shot up shit, committed all these plethora of crimes while he out on bond, no doubt. He wound up, they released him the day there was a warrant for his arrest for Rod Wade. They took him into custody. He went before the judge and they gave him another bond for $50,000. So, man, that's kind of easy, ain't it? I can show my ass while out on bond, and I can get another bond. So as long as I got money, well, I can pretty much do what the hell I want then, right? That's just the way it's looking to me. Man, it never fails, man. Brothers got to get it together. And when it gets to the point that as a black man, I am fearful that if I do get into some type of altercation, if I do have to hurt somebody because somebody trying to hurt me, I think it, man, shit, the way I'm looking, I'm like, man, it's going to probably be another brother that's going to try to, you know, cross me or something or do something, or just acting crazy, because it seems like every day I turn on the internet, that's what I'm seeing. I don't know. I'm not saying it can't be some other, you know, crazed white dude, a Hispanic dude, or whatnot. Not saying that. But by and large, when I'm talking about my people, I should be safe and secure when I'm around any brother or sister. I should be safe and secure knowing that, hey, they're going to do the right thing. They for what's right. And when it's time to lay it on the line, they're going to get busy for a just cause. I don't feel like that amongst my people. But let's all throw up some positive affirmations that this young brother, Rod Wave, who is very talented, that he'll get his life together. And let's also throw up positive affirmations that whatever needs to be done for him to get his life together, let it be done. And with some folks have to go to prison for a little bit so they can get it together. And they come out reformed, singing a different tune. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.